Title: Whispering Shadows. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the desolate town of Ravenbrook. The wind whispered through the gnarled trees, carrying with it a sense of foreboding that chilled the very marrow of anyone unfortunate enough to be out on such a night. The townspeople had long warned outsiders to stay away from Ravenbrook, a place cursed by a dark and twisted history. But curiosity, as it often does, lured a small group of college students to the town's edge. 5 friends, Jen, Mark, Sarah, Alex, and Lisa, stood at the entrance of Ravenbrook, their flashlights cutting through the thick mist that clung to the ground. They had heard stories of Ravenbrook's haunted past, of unspeakable horrors that had taken place within its abandoned walls. But these tales were mere whispers compared to the dark secrets that lay hidden beneath the surface. As the group ventured deeper into the town, they could feel an unseen presence watching them. The air grew heavier, and the temperature dropped drastically. Their breath hung in front of them like ghostly apparitions. The buildings that lined the streets were crumbling, windows shattered, and doors swinging eerily on their hinges. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Mark's voice trembled as he spoke, his flashlight trembling in his grip. "Don't be such a wimp, Mark," Alex scoffed, though even his bravado couldn't mask the unease in his eyes. They soon stumbled upon an old, dilapidated mansion that loomed over them like a forgotten sentinel. Its windows were like vacant eyes, and its front door creaked open ominously, inviting them in. Lisa hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. "We shouldn't go in there," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. Jen, the group's unofficial leader, squared her shoulders and raised her flashlight. "Come on, guys. We've come this far. Let's see what's inside." Reluctantly, the group crossed the threshold into the mansion. The air inside was damp and musty, the floorboards creaking under their weight. They explored room after room, each one seemingly darker and more unsettling than the last. Torn curtains swayed in the breeze, casting dancing shadows on the walls. In a room at the end of a narrow hallway, they stumbled upon a disturbing tableau. A collection of tattered dolls lay strewn across the floor, their glass eyes staring vacantly into the darkness. Sarah let out a nervous laugh, her fingers brushing against the cold porcelain of the doll's face. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the mansion. It was Lisa. The others raced towards the source of the sound, their flashlights flickering wildly. In the center of the room, they found Lisa, her eyes wide with terror, staring at a mirror that hung crookedly on the wall. Their reflections in the mirror were distorted, their features contorted into grotesque shapes. And in the reflection, they saw something else, shadowy figures that moved with unnatural grace, whispering in a language that chilled their souls. Without warning, the figures burst forth from the mirror, their elongated limbs reaching out for the group. Panic consumed them as they scrambled to escape the room. But the shadows were relentless, pursuing them through the mansion's corridors. One by one, the friends were overtaken, their screams echoing through the mansion's halls. And then, there was only silence, broken only by the haunting whispers of the shadows that now claimed Ravenbrook as their own. The next morning, the sun rose over Ravenbrook, casting a warm and comforting light on the town's abandoned streets. The mansion stood silent and still, its secrets forever locked within its decaying walls. And though the whispers had faded, the shadows remained, lurking just beyond the edge of sight, waiting for the next curious soul to stumble upon Ravenbrook's cursed embrace.